welcome. Good morning. Good morning to Noodle Doodle. I always get I always get in this jam where I like, welcome to another episode of Noodle Doodle. But I don't know. I don't feel like I don't feel like that, or this is that kind of show, I should say. so so yeah, intros and all that. Meh, whatever. It's Sunday morning. Um, we're gonna do a little bit of artwork, pick a topic, and just go from there. If you are new to Noodle Doodle, this is kind of what we do. This is my laid back BOT10ART podcast that I lovingly call Noodle Doodle because we doodle for those watching on YouTube, and we noodle. We basically exercise. Um, we exercise our thinking on a particular topic, and I had a couple of things that I was thinking about during the week, and I couldn't decide on a topic, but coffee. But I've been really busy with commissions, which is obviously a good thing if you are in the business of creating artwork and getting paid for it. That is a good thing. But I did run out of certain supplies. So I do 3D printing and I use a specific kind of tape. It's a really, and you can see it there on the camera, it's a really wide masking tape that I use about 5 pieces on my 3D printer on the heating bed or the heat bed. And I had to run out and grab some of that and a couple of other things, acetone that I use to clean out the 3D printer nozzles. The pure acetone melts the PLA out of your hardware. It makes it easier to clean. So, yeah, I started thinking about the difference. I started thinking about how we consume things and the difference between a brick and mortar store and an online experience. So I'm the type of person that I'm kind of a homebody. I don't really go out a lot. And if you've heard previous episodes of Noodle Doodle, you will know that I spend a lot of time growing up on my own and just kind of creating things, and I'm in my own little world. And, of course, here I am, 43, and I kind of still am that way. I'm kind of still very, like, I do things on my own. I'm kind of self-reliant. And, that's something that I've always prided myself on. If I want to do something, I just do it. It's not like this massive plan has to go into effect for you to do something, right? And so, of course, it's not like, oh, I'm alone and blah blah blah. It's not like that. Nothing like that. I just enjoy it. I enjoy doing things on my own, and just, that's just the way I operate, right? It's the way I'm wired. Everybody's wired different, right? Some people require a lot of social interaction, and I really don't. And that's not to say that I don't have friends or I don't like hanging out with my friends. I do. I have tons of friends. I have tons of coworkers that I share, time with, and um, everything is good there, right? But at the same time, I do enjoy, my privacy and stuff like that. But anyway, I say that to say this. I tend to buy a lot of things online, a lot of my supplies, whatever I can have shipped here to the home studio. It's cool with me. And going to the stores tends to be a little weird for me. Like either I have a really good experience or I'm just annoyed and I don't want to be there, and all this stuff. So I'm not the type of person to just walk around the mall and look at all the cool things, or whatever. Because, in the 80s, it was that. It was like you went to the mall to check out all the new stuff, or you saw something in a magazine and stuff like that. Now I look at everything on the internet. It's like, oh, cool. This person brought out a new burger or whatever the case may be. But I tend to kind of filter all this information into my pipeline, and I'm always on top of everything, right? So for Lion, it's a little tip and trick that I picked up along the way. So I don't normally say much, but I do listen a lot, and it's a good thing to kind of boop 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 boop. You're keeping the radar open, and you're listening to all of these different things, right? And receiving information, receiving what you need. But I started thinking about shopping and how people are driven by brands. And being that we talked about brands last week, I kind of wanted to stay in that same vein, but talk a little bit about that. And of course, everything you're hearing is it's my opinion. It's the way I think about things. It doesn't have to coincide with what you say or what you think. But it's just, food for thought. A little noodle a little noodle experience. But I get it. People love to go to stores, and they love to look at things and kind of shop. They're taking their time. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're looking at different things. So that's one shopper, right? Window shopping, if you would. And then you have people that are in a mad rush. They never have time for anything. And to me, that's just a poor excuse of time management, right? So if you're it, and again, this is my opinion, but if you're the type of person that you're rushing to everything, you might want to take a look at your time management, because that kind of creates a problem, right? It's like that person that just runs into the supermarket, grabs the shopping cart, and starts running down the aisles and throwing stuff into their cart and get out of my way, and they tend to be grumpy. They don't want to talk to anyone, and they just kind of create this tension, right? They create an anxiety that's not necessary. Not necessary. I can't say the word necessity or necessary. They create this tension that is not necessary. It's not wanted either. But I think companies tend to create a buzz, or they tend to create this false sense of how would you call it? It's like a false sense of being. It's like you need to rush out right now and get the latest whatever electronic product you want to put in the blank. And of course, oh my god, I gotta get it. And you see examples of that in like Black Friday. You see it in holidays, and it really does bring out the worst in people, because they're rushing out to get whatever it is that they are so afraid that they're gonna miss out on, because a company or product initiated that. And to me, I've always seen that as weird. I've always looked at it as something odd. Like, there is nothing, I'm talking about nothing, that I would want to own or need as far as a tool, a pen or a pencil or whatever, clothes or food. We'll go that route. I mean, food is a necessity, right? I've never, ever felt the need to rush out to a store and grab something just because I wanted it that bad. Like, there is nothing. And I'll tell you what, like, I love mochi ice cream, and if you've never had it, it's fantastic. Uh, but I'm not gonna run somebody over and push somebody out of the way to grab mochi ice cream, right? We don't live in desperate times, as far as I know. We're close to an apocalypse, but you know, it hasn't happened. So, of course, I have a laid back demeanor. Certain things do bother me, and I'm sarcastic. I'm sarcastic about certain things, and I will make fun of those things. The same way somebody would probably make fun of something I do. But I think it's all the way that you deal with things, right? So, uh, of course, there's this new trend or something happening in stores where these stores are staying open longer, and then they're stocking the store at all different times. Like before, when the store closed down, they would restock the shelves and they're ready for work the next day. Well, now there's just constantly stocking. So you can go to the supermarket, you can go to Aldi, you can go to Walmart, you can go to all these different places, and they're constantly stocking. So there's people buzzing in and out, in and out, in and out, and they're kind of getting in your way, and you're trying to get what you want, and it's just like, all right, we're done here. Can I order all this online? But I mean, yeah, there's a cause and effect, right? So if you're a person like me and you like to order stuff online and you want to avoid stores, uh, oh, how dare you? You're gonna shut down this brick and mortar, and you're gonna add more traffic to the highways, and so on and so forth. I get that. I understand it. But at the same time, when you go to a store, it's not pleasurable. I remember in the 80s when I was a kid, we would go to the store and it was no big deal. It was cool. It was like, yeah, hey, look, they got this, they got that. You did what you did. Sure, they had grumpy people then, of course. You had that one dude, get off my lawn, get off my lawn. You had that one guy. I'm sure if he went to the store, he would be a problem for somebody. But but it seems to be more. It seems to be concentrated. It's like hyper consumerism is just like running rampant, and people are so tied up into brands and stuff like that. And I know I sound a little bit hypocritical because I was talking about building a brand last week, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not the kind of brand I'm talking about. I'm talking about building something that is honest and pure and cool, and you stand by it, right? You stand by your brand. I didn't create BOT10ART and then immediately, start doing stupid things on the internet and like forcing people to love my stuff. No. I just did, I created BOT10ART to kind of unify something, to make it my own, and to show people, what I do. It's an identifier, right? It's an identifier. I'm not out to create this giant buzz, If you don't buy the next 5 prints, I'm gonna destroy, they're gonna be gone or whatever. Destroy the master. Like, I don't do that. I just put out artwork. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. There's so many. That's the beauty of it all. Is like there's so many different artists and so many different people that are creating just neat stuff all the time. And really, there's no need, right? There's no need to create something. There's no reason to create chaos, and it's just it's social nonsense. It's like it's online garbage, and it's the same thing when it comes to stores. And of course, retail stores and stuff like that, they created this little monster called an upsale, and of course, upsales are nothing new, but they're more aggressive, and they kind of don't make sense. If you go into a gas station and you buy a pack of gum, hey, do you want an apple pie? No. Do you want a piece? Do you want coffee? No. No. Okay. Do you want this e-cigarette? No. Okay. Do you want, whatever? It's like, no, I came in here for gum. That's it. You buy a gallon of milk and it's like, you want popcorn? You want a hot dog? You want nachos? You want this? No? Okay. And it doesn't make sense. An upsell to me is like you bought an electronic keyboard or something. Hey, by the way, it doesn't come with batteries. You want the batteries? Oh yeah, cool. Done. Upsell, right? Hey, look at that. But now it's so interesting that companies mandate this, right? They tell the person, and usually the person on the counter is like, "Look, man, I gotta say this. Do you want hot dogs? Do you want pickles? Do you want?" It's like, I get it. So when I went to do my oil change or get the supplies for my oil change, I grab the filter, grab the oil, and walk up to the counter. You need a battery? Like, battery for what? Like a car battery. You need a car battery? No? Okay. You need LED lights? Like, no. Is this all? Yes. Just the oil and the oil filter. You need a window cleaner? No. It's like, can we just ring this up? I gotta do another thing. Yeah, man. I gotta say this. They're trying to sell these light bulbs or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. So like you have that going on, then you have the grumpy people, and then you have the people that are just window shopping, and then the people restocking the store. You see what I'm saying? You're starting to get a recipe for a soup that's not gonna taste good. You're just gonna get mad, and you're like, God, let's get the hell out of this place. This is stupid. And that's what happens to me, right? I just walk in, and we were in a particular store yesterday, and one of the patrons of the store, all right, male guy, I mean, strapping male guy just like me, comes out of the girls' bathroom, and I'm like, what the hell? it, you know, and it's not because the other bathroom was broken. It's just that guy didn't want to wait for whoever was in the men's bathroom, so he went into the girls' bathroom. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, medical emergency, right? That happens to people. There's IBS. There's all kinds of things that could happen. This dude really needed to use the restroom. Well, my wife goes in. She uses the bathroom after him, and she comes out, and oh, he just peed all over the place. Oh, okay. So, and then it's like, why? Why are people doing these things? Okay, so I'm annoyed by that. I kind of let it go. Then I'm going through this one aisle, and the guy working there, he's restocking, but he's like buzzing like a bee. Bzz, rah, 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 rah. This guy's like buzzing like a fridge all over the place. He's just zoom, 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 and he's cutting it in front of you, and he's cutting out in front of you, and I'm like, okay, do you need the aisle? Like, have the aisle, dude. I'm going somewhere else because I was looking for a particular item in that aisle. Scratch that. We'll go somewhere else, and hopefully he's done by the time I can go back into the aisle. And then I start looking at an item with my daughter. She has it in her hand. This lady comes by, and oh, my daughter loves these, and says, excuse me, and boop, and takes it from my daughter's hand. And right at that point, I was like, oh, I'm about to lose my mind right here, dude. This is not gonna work. I'm like, all right, I'll be outside. I'll be outside. And my gorgeous wife, she's perfect, right? She's beautiful, and she's so patient. She's like, I get it. Don't worry about it, babe. So I said, look, I'm sorry. I'm going outside because I don't want to get into an argument with somebody. I don't want to. I don't want that. I'm not that person. I'm not that kind of person. I'm annoyed beyond belief. And I think there should be like a place where you can go and just like destroy crap. I, I hate my work. And you smash some, I don't know, an old TV or whatever the case may be, but you kind of take it all out. But for me, yeah, I go outside, I walk up and down the strip, vape, kind of mumble crap to myself, and then I'll be all right, and just kind of like, eh. But that sort of stuff like ruins the day, right? And it sucks because it's like, I ruin the day by getting upset. But at the same time, like, really, is it my fault? Maybe. I don't know. I just don't like feeling that way. So usually when I go into stores, um, I got so animated about this story, I didn't even start drawing. But usually when I go into stores, um, I think about those kinds of things, and uh, I just wanna, I wanna go in and out, grab what I need, and get out because the experience of going to the store and shopping, I think it's gone, man. I think it's gone. I think people are so consumed with products. They're consumed with um, just inventive, uh, this inventive like gotta have this, gotta have that, and they're just kind of throwing civility to the wind, right? They're just like they're not even. It's like, nope, I really need this purse, and you're kind of in the way, so how about we move it along, buddy? And it's just weird. It's like you see it all the time, and I don't know exactly how it got that way, uh, and I don't know if it's gonna last. But I'm assuming that just like everything, it probably will not last. It will not. It, I don't think it's gonna be something that stays around because I mean, really, it can't. You know, what are people just gonna be super rude to each other no matter what? You know, get out of my way. I really need to get on into small world. Damn it. Like, whoa. All right. Will it get to that point? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, just something to think about, man. When you're in the supermarket, or you're in a store somewhere, just chill, man. Chill out. Just relax. We haven't faced a shortage of anything since the Great Depression. And again, it's like this super, uh, like, oh my God, we need to definitely get some, and brands or companies, they love it. They're like, did you see that lady kill herself over that TV or whatever? It's like they're not apologetic about anything, and we're doing it to ourselves. We're doing it to ourselves. But like I said, I've never been in a situation where I needed something so bad that I'm willing to like hurt somebody, like physically hurt somebody, or just be rude, you know, for no apparent reason. So I started thinking about that, and like, man, am I the only one that feels this way? I don't know. I mean, if you feel the same, or perhaps you have an opinion on it and you want to share it with me, leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to. I would love to know. I would love to know what you guys think about this. But um, I don't know. And again, I would hate to be that guy, you know. Oh, you're just a curmudgeon old man. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to go anywhere. It's not that. It's certainly not that. But I could tell you that yeah, I don't really do well in those kinds of situations where people are like, oh, let's go to the mall. Let's go hang out. Let's go, you know. I'm good. Thanks. We can go out and have dinner and, call me when you're done. When you're done in the mall, I'll meet you wherever you want. But yeah, I'm not exactly going to do that. So, I don't know. I'd like to, uh, I like to think you know, I'm doing the right thing by just uh, not getting involved and not letting that bother me, right? So, but to each their own. Again, I don't want to, I don't want to go on my podcast and just start bitching about stuff or complaining about stuff. That's not what I'm doing. But it did open a train of thought, or it got me thinking. And my wife and I were talking about it on the way home. And, we were like, what's going on, dude? I don't get it. Why are people like freaking the hell out? And, um, we were just like, I don't know, just, and one could say, well, it's, it's, that particular shopping center or this and that, whatever, but it's not. You're starting to see it everywhere, everywhere. You're starting to see it, Walmart and different places like that, and just people just going nuts. And it sucks, you want to be able to go to the store and get what you need and have a nice experience. There's a few stores that we do go to. There are restaurants that we go to that we know the people working there, that we come in and we talk to them, and how's your week? How you doing? Good. Okay, cool. Oh man, you had car problems. Oh, you know. So how the kids? This and that. And it's like you have other people that are like, come on, what are you gonna, talk to this person? That's why they have Facebook. Talk over, blah blah. It's like, dude, this is called small talk. Just in case you didn't know. And no, we're not gonna spend hours, and I don't sit there, and talk to them outside. Like once they rang everything up, and they're done, I'm done too. All right, we'll see you next week. Good to see you. Blah blah blah. That's it. It's not like a massive conversation that happened in a store, but I do know them, and I do like to talk to them. There's a gas station that I've been going to for years, and you know, I know the lady that works there. Her name is Becky, and she, how are you? How are the kids? She's seen my kids like grow up, because they would go in and they would grab snacks and drinks and stuff like that in the summertime. We come back from the beach or whatever. Oh, let's stop here. Let's get some snacks, and that sort of stuff. So she knows us. She knows us for quite some time, and uh, during the hurricanes and stuff, I've gone there and just kind of like, hey, you guys all right? You have power? This and that, whatever. Oh yeah, and kind of check things out, uh, to survey the damage or whatnot, and just kind of make sure that they're okay. That's the kind of person I am. You know what I mean? I like to check up on people and just kind of, hey, you all right? Because that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. Like, no man is an island. I would like to think that someday, if I need it, somebody would check up on me or whatnot. Um, but it's definitely a different kind of world. It's like you hear all of these different buzzwords, right? Like instant gratification, or you know, the me generation, or whatever, millennial this, millennial that. It's like we just discovered the word millennial. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way you're raised, and how things are coming around. And it's really interesting because somebody somebody on Instagram, was it Instagram? I think it was. Somebody on Instagram put a photo of these certain items, and the caption was, if you're a '90s kid, you could tell me what these are. And it's like there was a broom, a belt, like some kind of power cord, some kind of power cord, and something else. And immediately I was like, oh, abuela's weapons. It's grandma's weapons, right? It's like she's gonna whoop you into shape, boy. You do something wrong, she's gonna get on you, right? And of course, that spans, back through history. It's like not only if you were a '90s kid, but if you're an '80s kid, '70s kid, '60s, '50s, like if you did something dumb or stupid, your parents were gonna tell you about it. They were gonna tell you like, "Hey, we didn't raise you like that. We raised you better than that." And then, of course, thankfully, those, for lack of a better term, and I do apologize, those ass whoopings don't happen anymore. And but I understand it. I get it. With my kids, we correct them. Hey, man, why you acting like that? And everything's very logical and understanding. We do timeouts. We do all of that stuff. Um, but I think a lot of civility, a lot of common courtesy, and just is gone. Is gone because of that sort of stuff. Like your abuela, your abuela will get on to you, your grandma. She'll be like, "Why are you acting like that? You need to straighten up. You need to be nice. You need to say thank you, please, and all." And that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of that is just gone. People are just like, oh, someone on Instagram is acting a fool, so I'm gonna do that too, and this and that, whatever. So to me, I feel like, and I don't want to be like preachy or whatever the hell, but I think a lot of like common courtesy, civility, and just self-worth is like gone. Nobody cares about anything. It's like, F it, F it, F it. That's the mentality. Live your best life, and whatever other haiku comes along that people snap or grab onto. And I don't want to say young kids. It's like, oh, the young whippersnappers and their blah blah blah. I think it goes beyond that, because when you see adults doing stuff that's completely ridiculous, it's like, is a click or a follow that important? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't want to go into tangents and stuff. I just think that a lot of, we could live in modern times but still maintain a lot of the older teachings and stuff like that. That's why you see so many like beautiful things when in old cultures and stuff. Like Japanese people, or Asian people, I should say, they value their elders a lot. So they take care of their elders. They do a lot of stuff for their elders. And in our culture, we kind of don't. It's like, abuela, she's in the house, blah blah blah, or whatever, or in a home, or so we don't really do the same thing. But the problem is that it's like these are our teachers. Before you go to school, uh, before you start interacting with people, these are our educators. These are the people that give us culture, that give us soul, that give us all of these different things, right? They teach us, hey, don't be a jerk. And that's one of the things I tell my kids. I always have this quirky like, hey, don't be a jerk. you know. And when they start acting up or something happens, I let them know. I'm like, hey, I know, Dad, I know. Don't be a jerk. Yeah, man, don't be a jerk. You know, just chill out. Oh, it's just this and that, whatever, blah, blah. And again, I get it. I was a kid too. I did dumb things. I'm not holding that against them because I think that when kids act up and they're, acting dumb or whatnot, that's all part of growing up. But it's up to the parents to say, hey, look, man, you're acting a fool or whatnot. But I don't think the parents now have that in them, They think it's funny. Oh, this kid, he drives me insane. Nobody can control him. It's like, you can. you're the parent. And that sort of stuff. I don't know. But whatever. That's a whole other podcast, I guess, getting into parenting and whatnot. It's like with me, I have a rule, in the house. It's like, hey, if you did something, own up to it. No matter what. Just own up to it. And you move along. I think you learn more that way. So, yeah, the next time you're in the stores and somebody's driving you nuts, don't don't just say that person's an idiot or something like that. Just let it go. Let it go. Figure it out, and move on. Tomorrow's another day, and just work around it. Work around it. Because God knows there's a lot of people spending a lot of money that they don't have right now. And it may get worse. So there you have it. Oh, I didn't even mention what it was. Today's today's prompt was rubber ducky in a bath. Or yeah, rubber ducky in a bubble bath. So there's the rubber ducky right there on the left hand side of the image. And I drew a little gator. I don't know, kind of hanging out, having a bath. Oh, that's funny. If there's ever a topic that you want me to cover on Noodle Doodle, feel free to either send me a message or leave me a comment, and we'll talk about it. I hope today doesn't come off as a rant or like me bitching or complaining. Certainly not doing that. But I am expressing my opinion of something that I observe, and hopefully, if anything, that can serve to kind of help each other out and treat each other with respect, and learn from it, because that's the takeaway here. That's the important part. How we treat each other, and we're all on the same little blue planet. We all need and desire the same thing, but we have to figure out a way to work together. Because if we don't, yeah, it'll be bad. It'll be bad. So anyway, signing out. All the way from Orlando, Florida. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. You have a lovely week. And you just keep being awesome. I will see you next week. Same time, same channel. I'm your host, Lazaro Gomez. This has been Noodle Doodle. I will see you next time.